E3 2019 is getting closer and closer, but with Sony out of the show this year, it appears that we are in for a classic East versus West battle between Nintendo and Microsoft. Or is it? Since Nintendo clearly held back last year by leaving half of their presentation for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate to sweep the floor with. And this is not 2018. Since Nintendo has loud and clear demonstrated through their Nintendo Directs in the last 10 months that they aim to dominate 2019 and E3 2019 with games that no rival can match.
In other words, this will be the show where the Nintendo Switch will destroy the competition, just like they did in 2017. And though Metroid Prime 4 will not make its glorious return at E3 this year after Nintendo pressed the restart development and hand the project over to Retro Studios button, the Nintendo Switch still has plenty of games to destroy E3 2019 with both in its direct and playable demos at the show floor. So let's get right into them.
Where Sony made an okay attempt with Days Gone and Microsoft has no new first-party exclusives, Nintendo is bringing the long-awaited sequel to close out June and their slow first half of the year with a bang. Since Super Mario Maker 2 is no lazy sequel, but a massive upgrade, and a game that is a hot candidate to sell more than 10 million copies after it drops on June 28th. Where do we even begin? Through the latest Mario Maker 2 Direct, we learned that Nintendo are adding the first official online versus and co-op Mario experience with playable Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Toadette, along with a ton of new tools to work with building stages, a way better interface, and a new Super Mario 3D World layout that will greatly shake up what was possible to do in Mario Maker, and even then, they are saving the best for last. Another game style for E3. Simply put, this game is potentially going to be endless. And if we know the Mario Maker community right, be prepared for some of the most evil, but at the same time genius Mario stages you have ever seen. Of course, if you have Nintendo Switch Online. But even then, here we are getting an excellent Nintendo Switch Online bundle for only an extra $10. Super Mario Maker 2 alone is a game that Nintendo could have come to E3 with and still done well. But we are just getting started, as Nintendo, unlike Microsoft and most third parties, have more titles with specific release dates.
If Super Mario Maker 2 will dominate June and most of July, then Fire Emblem Three Houses is ready to present the results of the great fusion of Nintendo's handheld and console franchises in the end of July. And yes, we had Fire Emblem Warriors and Pokemon Let's Go prior to it, but this is the first big mainline handheld franchise, Emigre, fully over to the Nintendo Switch. Coming out on July 26, Fire Emblem Three Houses had one solid gameplay demonstration during the February 2019 Nintendo Direct, and has since then been teased heavily through regular updates on Nintendo's official Twitter accounts, upload of some of the truly amazing tracks found in its soundtrack, like the one you hear right now, and even more through Japanese promotional material. So will Fire Emblem Three Houses have a presence at E3? Totally. Nintendo is poised to maintain their solid grip on the Japanese market and will not miss an opportunity to give another promo of one of their biggest targets toward this market. But unlike previous Fire Emblem titles, the release of the very ambitious Three Houses is going to be simultaneous in all regions. Makes sense when the Nintendo Switch is region free, but make no mistake, Nintendo is going hard towards the Japanese market at this E3, as you will see with the last release date entry on this list. But first,
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3: The Black Order. Yes, we know that this game is coming out before Fire Emblem Three Houses on July 19th, but then again, none of us expected this to be a Nintendo Switch exclusive when it was revealed at the Game Awards last year. But here we are, with multiple trailers, including one in the February Nintendo Direct. So could this become Nintendo's biggest Western exclusive since GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64? Possibly, and though the game might not reach the insane sales of GoldenEye, the last thing we should underestimate is a game cast of playable characters consisting of the Avengers Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Black Widow, Hulk, Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, X-Men, including everyone's favorite Wolverine, and villains such as everyone's favorite Universal murderer Thanos and his Black Order. All of these coming shortly after the premiere of Spider-Man Far From Home, and shortly before Avengers Endgame comes out on 4K and Blu-ray, and with an original story and local and online multiplayer. With such a big exclusive on the way in July, and with a Nintendo E3 Direct focusing on 2019 games, the odds are high that we will see this game briefly one final time in the E3 2019 Direct. The same goes with the last Nintendo exclusive, with a release month and a date.
We have already stated that the Japanese market is extremely important to Nintendo, and I'm landing there on Monday. Yay! And Astral Chain is another example of how hard Nintendo is going into this market in 2019. Developed by Nintendo's beloved Japanese third-party partner Platinum, this game is certain to get more screen time in Nintendo's E3 Direct with a proper gameplay demonstration, seeing that the game is coming out a little over 2 months after the show on August 30th. As we said back in our top 10 upcoming Nintendo Switch games video in February, Astral Chain is the love child of crazy video game developers Hideki Kamiya and director Takahashi Toro, known as one of the key designers for Nier Automata, and it shows with spectacular over-the-top action, mechs, variety of gameplay styles, and the futuristic setting of the Ark. The reveal was very impressive, and the premise of where you are as a male or female protagonist in the ranks of the Special Police Task Force Murin fight for the preservation of the multicultural Ark from alien invaders is very interesting, but needs a little more explanation for an E3 2019 trailer and please a demo. The same goes with an additional info on the use of the Legion and the multiple battle strategies. We can't wait to hear more about this game in the Direct and hopefully play a demo of it on the show floor. After all, there is a reason why Bayonetta 3 will have to wait a little longer.
Animal Crossing Switch. Let's face it, we know practically nothing about this game, and E3 2019 needs to change that. A new Animal Crossing is always something to be excited about, as it has been a whopping 6 years since Animal Crossing New Leaf came out for the 3DS. That is for the last entry in the series, but Animal Crossing Switch is the grand return of the franchise to console after a whopping 10.5 years since City Folk on Wii. But then again, Animal Crossing was brought over to the 3DS for a reason, as this franchise is way more popular in Japan than any other region, with close to 45% of all sales of New Leaf coming from Japan. Animal Crossing Switch, similar to the next game we'll be talking about, was quickly teased during the September 2018 Direct, but then together skipped the February 2019 one. Due to these turn of events, which aren't really surprising, there are so many questions that need to be answered in the gameplay and title reveal trailer and potential E3 demo. Like, what will the game's final look be? What new features will be added? And will we be the mayor once again? These are all crucial details that we hope Nintendo will deliver on and make Animal Crossing Switch one of the biggest showstoppers at E3 2019.
Now then, for the rest of the games we will go by the order they were revealed. But even so, we will stick to exclusives as these are the games that make Nintendo stand out from the rest of the crowd. And we continue with another game revealed during the impressive September 2018 Nintendo Direct, Luigi's Mansion 3. Just like Fire Emblem and Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion with Dark Moon and then the remaster of the original had moved from console to handheld. But now it's time to return to its console roots with Luigi's Mansion 3 on the Nintendo Switch. Unlike Animal Crossing, we have seen a little gameplay of this game, which will take place in a hotel, and this time Mario, the Toads and even Peach are missing. Hotel Mario. Heh. Joking aside, the E3 2019 Nintendo Direct will most likely give us a title reveal, plus release date for this game, and we'll likely also see a show floor demo. It is rather insane that we still have 4 exclusive left on this list.
Overlooked by many since the reveal of one of Nintendo Switch's biggest exclusives, Game Freak's new IP Town could finally get another trailer and possibly even a release date in Nintendo's E3 2019 Direct. And you know what? It is about time, because this game looks really gorgeous and deserves a presence at this E3 in the Direct and through a demo on the show floor. In particular, since the game might be closer than we think. More on that in our upcoming E3 Nintendo Predictions series with Rogersbase coming this week. Or just click here in the corner if it's already up. What makes Town stand out is that, along with Astral Chain, it is the only new IP on this list, and that it is from Game Freak, who, believe it or not, develop more than just Pokemon games. Town is an excellent example of this, where you, in a classic turn-based RPG, will battle monsters that threaten, well, your town. This is definitely another big push by Nintendo with the switch towards the Japanese market. And it doesn't exactly look like this is a coincidence when we see that the new IPs this year are both RPGs with anime styles.
Same could be said about Link's Awakening, as it was revealed at the end of the February Nintendo Direct with Japanese animation-like cutscene and then turned into claymation when it comes to the actual game. Which is good, as we already have enough anime-like experiences to look forward to on the Nintendo Switch at this year's E3. Even so, the Link's Awakening remake is special for a number of reasons. For one, it was originally developed by Mario icons Shigeru Miyamoto, Takahashi Tezuka, and Yoshiaki Koizumi. The latter of this was instrumental as the game's main writer. One thing that's certain is that Nintendo might be hiding a thing or two in this game, which an E3 2019 trailer might reveal, along with a possible release date. We really hope that the game, as the only likely Zelda game at this E3, will be playable at the show floor. I know that I, Zeltic, and Dr. Wily can't wait to play it as soon as we get down to the LA Convention Center.
Probably the biggest showstopper at this E3 is no doubt Pokemon Sword and Shield. Not because of its sales potential, but more of the significance that Nintendo's most stubborn handheld-only mainline series, with roots from the original Game Boy, will for the first time be playable on a home console. And though it is likely that we could see another Pokemon Direct or at least trailer for the game prior to E3, don't be fooled. Nintendo will make sure that Pokemon Sword and Shield will be visible at all their E3 activities from June 11th to the 13th. Like the E3 Direct, Treehouse Live, demo on the show floor, and most likely the theme of the massive booth itself. The game will be everywhere, because Pokemon is everywhere these days, with Pokemon Go, Let's Go, Detective Pikachu, and now Sword and Shield. A new generation is about to hit the Nintendo Switch, and the impact of Galar or England alone could be enough for Nintendo to win this E3. Even though Pokemon, its setting, and its gameplay will be the big show pusher, it could be that Nintendo might reveal 1 or 2 games slated for the first half of 2020 from their most beloved first-party IPs that have not had new entries since 2013 and 14.
When it comes to games, Nintendo has done everything right so far on the Nintendo Switch. We got a new Zelda, Splatoon, Mario and Xenoblade in its launch year, Kirby, Mario Party and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate last year, Yoshi's Crafted World, Super Mario Maker 2, Fire Emblem, Animal Crossing and Pokemon this year, and since the development of Metroid Prime 4 was restarted in January 2019, this leaves us with 1 or 2 Nintendo franchises with a big following that might be revealed at this E3, Pikmin and or Mario Kart. That and perhaps some third-party trailers for games from Bethesda, that will say Doom Eternal and Wolfenstein Youngblood, Ubisoft and so on. We have talked about Mario Kart in previous videos, but in the first half of 2020, with the dawn of the new console generation from Sony and Microsoft, and possible console revisions from Nintendo, the Switch needs one big system seller prior to the launch of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Anaconda sometime before the fall of 2020.
And that is Pikmin 4 or Mario Kart 9 / Nintendo Kart. Now these will most likely just be teased with a reveal trailer, and if we are lucky, be playable at the show floor, just like what was the case with Mario Kart 8 in 2013. But you know what? We have a long prediction with Rogersbase and a dedicated Mario Kart 9 video in the end card, seeing that Nintendo will stay away from hardware talk at this E3. But you will hear us talk about it as Conrad is heading to Tokyo and Kyoto. So make sure to follow us on Twitter at Common Realm and Instagram Commonwealth Realm Official for meetup opportunities in Tokyo and Kyoto and behind the scenes updates. Now then, make sure to like this video and to not miss any of our Japanese awesomeness, E3 predictions with Rogersbase, and E3 2019 videos, then subscribe and press that shiny notification bell for all notifications. Finally, we want to thank all of our gracious patrons, and in particular, royal producers Kenyatta Ali and Bradley Carriage at patreon.com/commonrealm. You can join them too for some awesome perks, but for now, check out these 2 awesome videos.